A North Texas state representative texted a judge telling her that death row inmate Robert Roberson deserves a new trial. Today, Attorney General Ken Paxton stated Republican Jeff Leach from Plano violated the state's rules on professional conduct. Paxton's office released the text messages in which Leach says only one judge on the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals needs to change their mind so Roberson can get another chance. That was one of many developments in this case. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager breaks it all down. Peyton.
Heather, in less than an hour after the Office of the Attorney General released those transcripts of the text messages, Representative Leach admitted he was wrong. In a statement posted to social media, he said, quote, "I wasn't aware of any pending dispute within the court. I thought I was in the clear, but clearly I was not." Late Monday afternoon, the Office of the Attorney General revealed Plano State Representative Jeff Leach sent what it calls unethical text messages to a sitting judge on the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, asking for death row inmate Robert Roberson to receive a new trial. The Republican lawmaker has been at the forefront in the effort to halt Roberson's execution. In a statement, Leach admitted he texted Judge Michelle Slaughter. She was one of the 5 judges to reject Roberson's most recent appeal. The text exchange started with Leach sending, "Judge, I've racked my brain about whether I should send you this message. One judge, that's all that is needed to simply say, there are too many questions and too many holes and too much uncertainty, and Robert Roberson deserves a new trial." Judge Slaughter reported Leach's messages and responded with, "I cannot consider your message, nor may I discuss any pending matters with you." Representative Leach responded with a lengthy statement Monday evening on X, reading in part, "Unlike some other leaders in our state, I'm not afraid to admit when I mess up." Judge Slaughter handled it perfectly and professionally, as any judge should do, and I apologize to her and to the court. Robert Roberson was set to be executed Thursday, October 17th, more than 20 years after he was convicted for killing his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki Curtis. But a subpoena filed by a Texas House committee to have Roberson testify led to the Texas Supreme Court halting his execution. A coalition of bipartisan lawmakers, including Representative Leach, question the science supporting Roberson's death sentence, specifically a shaken baby syndrome diagnosis after her death. While Roberson's execution is on pause, his testimony is also delayed. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton refuses to let Roberson appear in person. Last week, Paxton also released a graphic report of the 2-year-old's original autopsy and a statement from the medical examiner. State lawmakers then issued a 16-page rebuttal calling the Attorney General's report misleading and in large part simply untrue.
We don't know what's next because we're in triple overtime here.
Constitutional law attorney David Cole points out 2 possible next steps in this now political fight. Governor Greg Abbott could step in and grant a reprieve, which isn't likely. Or the Criminal Court of Appeals could take a fresh look at the case. A third of the judges lost their primaries and will be replaced next year. Judge Slaughter was one of those judges.
So as long as the issue stays in the public eye, and obviously as long as this gentleman is not executed, the Court of Criminal Appeals might take a second look, and there's a reason to think they will, given the closeness of the vote and the likelihood of some significant change in their makeup.
Heather, also a new development today. The family of Nikki Curtis sent a letter to the Texas House Committee saying they are still convinced that Robert Roberson is guilty, and they cited evidence that was presented during trial that ultimately led to his conviction. In response to that, Robert Roberson's brother then released a public statement of his own defending Roberson as a loving and caring parent.